Hello everybody, and welcome to AmateurCast, where I get you and your replays to be casted for my entertainment, and hopefully to help you improve a little bit as well. I'm your host, ZookaMan, and we're going to be going into a ZVT. Without further ado, I'm going to go and introduce our players. So, starting from our bottom left-hand position, in the red, in the Zerg, we have Sgtduck. And he's going to be our submitter for this game. And his opponent on the opposite side of the map, in the blue, in the Terran, from Team Skillcapped, we have StefyIQ. And my voice might have slightly cracked there, folks. But that's quite alright. Probably should drop that voice as well. Oh boy. Goodness gracious. Anyways, getting into the game, and let's look at our matchup. This is the TVZ matchup, or the ZVT matchup, if you prefer. Starting from our Terran player, what do I kind of expect to see? What's going to be most likely coming out? Well, this is a mid-level replay right around the gold platinum range, I believe. So I'm not expecting the most greedy play or the most high-end play to that extent. And I think that's kind of fairly obvious by the fact that we already have a barracks being laid down. Which is a bit awkward for Team Zerg, who's going to be in a little bit of an unorthodox position of having a double racks very early. Well, our trusty Zerg sidekick of the spawning pool from Sgtduck is on its way, so he should be able to hold off against a couple Marines. Granted, wouldn't mind seeing a spine crawler once he scouts out that this is what's going on, and we will be in the good. And oh, Sgtduck deciding to cheese back his opponent. So now we're going to be seeing we're going to be seeing a 3 proxy racks against a proxy hatchery. Yes, folks, this is a real game. This isn't one of those rigged Fun Day Monday games. Oh, goodness gracious. We do have one Marine out on the field. Is going to chase that drone away. And meanwhile, the hatchery is going to get drilled to death by those SCVs who are just kind of punching it in the face, going 1-2 punch, go, go, go. And a couple of them have minerals in their hands, so maybe not the 1-2 punch, more like the 1-1 punch. In any case, Overlord's going to kind of chased off. Is going to be Roaches to follow this up from Sgtduck. A very good response, because he'll be able to have, well, one of the better units in defending early pressure, the Roach. Lings can be good, but they're not the best against a Terran player who decides Marines are the only way to live, and he doesn't have the time to be able to go up onto Banglings. These couple of Zerglings are going to be able to get away, and actually might buy Sgtduck time to be able to drop down this spine crawler. Back home, the hatchery has finally been slain, but those broodlings will be able to get up onto those SCVs and kill at least 2 before being vanquished, and I'd say that's fairly well worth it. Did get one Roach off, another one is, of course, in place here, and is going to stop the construction of that supply depot. Here come the SCVs to try and take on these Roaches. Oh, goodness. These Roaches. Oh, 4 SCVs are going to get pulled, and the Roaches are going to be migrating back very, very well, and going to be able to kill quite a bit of SCVs in the meantime. Oh boy. That is a little bit unfortunate for a Terran player who's now only on 5 harvesters, and may or may not have a giant hole in his base. But on the bright side, there are about 10 Marines and a couple of SCVs in this army that are going to try to push up in the main base. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to do something. The spine crawlers are going to be engaging. There is not really much to back this up. He's going to pull his drones and this probably is going to get rebelled for the moment. Of course, the spine crawler did go down. There is one more left, and a couple more in the back coming up. Meanwhile, we have one nice little Zergling going to be pecking away at that supply depot, and not really going to get rebutted, except as soon as I say that, the SCVs are going to go after it. That is the story of my life. Roach's army coming up back home right now from Sgtduck. He's not looking to be in that bad of a position as long as he makes sure to keep up onto his overlords. And I have my squeaky chair coming through very squeakily. I apologize for that, interrupting the sound quality, folks. Trying to remain very still now, so that does not continue to be a problem. Ice is going to be slowly acidified away? Yes, that looks like that's the proper word. Spine crawlers are going to be caught en route to be planted out. However, roaches, that's pretty much all that really needs to be said about that. Roaches. Meanwhile, we only have about 5 harvesters back home from Steffi. Still has a a Zergling taking away at that supply depot. And now Steffi deciding, now he has been scouted, it is time to retreat back home and attempt to salvage what's left of this game. Of course, that might be a bit more difficult than one would think, considering that he has 6 harvesters comparatively to his opponent's 16, which is a bit of a difference, especially when you notice that there are roaches just going to be constantly macroed across the map. And there are marines here, which will be able to sort of help against roaches. Bunker going to come up as well, but this time he's going to hit way before that bunker finishes up. Assuming that Sgtduck goes directly in. There you go, Sgtduck. He's going to be able to take out this bear. Get the bunker, get the bunker, get the bunker! He's going to be engaging here, which isn't necessarily the best idea. Is going to, I think, kill the SCV, so that bunker is not going to be finishing up anytime soon. He's going to be migrating back his roaches, but really not that big of a deal. We do, of course, now have the barracks finally landing back in the main base. A second hatchery is on its way for Sgtduck, but Steffi going to end up having a little bit of a problem there. A little bit awkward there, to say the least, for our Terran player, who pretty much just failed his cheese. That's about it. Alright guys, now is the time as always that we take a look at what each of these players could have done better, so that they and you can learn a bit for next time. Starting with our not winning player, or losing player, so to speak, StefyIQ. I think the biggest thing that happened wrong for him was he was too focused on this attack. And what do you mean by that, ZookaMan? Well, first of all, he went 3 barracks. And I don't know how much you guys know about 3 barracks, but 2 racks in itself, especially proxy 2 racks, is one of those all-in types of cheeses. You either do really well and win, or you do very poorly and you lose, like we saw here. It's a very polarizing build. I don't understand the 3rd barracks, because that makes it even more of a investment and even more of an all-in strategy. So what I'd say for Steffi is, if you're going to continue using the 2 racks, do 2 racks, but do not add on a 3rd barracks. It would also be maybe a good idea to try to expand behind it, because it will force your opponent, no matter what their race, to get units in order to defend against your push. That way you can take a sort of economic advantage, and at the very least, if you don't win the engagement, you'll be able to have a economy coming up behind you. Now, looking over at Sgtduck, very, very nice response to this. Went for pool very quickly, went for roaches very quickly, and the spine crawlers as well. And I think that this was pretty much the perfect response to this situation. And I can't say a whole lot more from Sgtduck from this game, because I didn't see a long game. I didn't see a lot of mechanics or anything like that. But besides that, very good hold and very well done from Sgtduck, being able to kind of pick this up and making it look easy, really. Okay, guys, I do think that will be it for this one. Before I go, a few real quick announcements. If you like this cast, as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you'd like to get your game casted next, you can send a replay on over to ZookaMan900@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to get a replay casted and don't mind if it's me, check out the subreddit Casted, both of which will be in the description below. Great place to go meet up with casters, great place to go meet up with players. It's a really good community for, I would say, anybody who plays StarCraft, especially if you're wanting to get into casting or you're wanting to have your games casted. And really, who doesn't want their games casted? It's a really fun experience. So yeah, go check that out. Both links will be in the description below, so you can get in contact with either or method. Besides that, I am planning a tournament in the next couple of months. I have not found out additional dates yet, but the way it looks like now, it's going to be probably end of March, early April. I will keep you guys posted more on that as we go along. Cool? Alright, guys, I believe that's going to be it for this one. So this is ZookaMan, and we will see you on the next cast. Take care, guys.